Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Naruto X female legendary sannin? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the Red Cloud Cerefizi for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. Naruto groaned and opened his eyes as he met an all too familiar white ceiling. He wondered where he was. He started to remember what happened before he woke up. Flashback no jutsu. Naruto was resting on a stone slate while the remaining 8 Akatsuki members were around him. He remembered that he fought against the leader of the Akatsuki and lost even in his 5-tailed transformation. He was supposed to go on an escort mission to Iwagakure, but the man that was supposed to be the client was actually Deidara. When Naruto was sleeping, Deidara kidnapped him and brought him to their hideout. He was able to break free and tried to escape but was stopped by the leader. He was stronger than all the cages put together. Even combined with Kyuubi, he was still no match for him. So there he laid while the Akatsuki members were extracting the Kyuubi no Yoko from him. It felt like they were ripping apart his insides very slowly. Red chakra started to pour out of him, but before all of it was all up, the world started getting black. When he woke up, he had the Kyuubi staring down at him with a huge frown on his face. Here's not much time. There is a way we can change the past, but it might fail and kill you. We can go back in time. We can go back in time? Kyuubi nodded. Okay, let's do it. How far back will we go? Kyuubi shrugged. It could be a couple of years to a couple days. Red chakra then engulfed Naruto and he blacked out. Flashback no jutsu kai. Naruto looked around the room and saw someone who looked very familiar. Oji-san. It was mumbled and the sannin couldn't hear it. What did you say? This version of Sarutobi was much younger than the one Naruto remembered. He wasn't bald, had black hair, and didn't look a day older than the age of 25. Kyuubi must have sent him far too back. His father wasn't even born yet. He made a note to himself to be careful with who he slept with. A man in red robes and the Hokage hat came in, and he had blue hair and red eyes. Naruto recognized him as the Shodaime Hokage. So how are you feeling? I feel fine now. Where was I when you found me? You were in the forest of death, passed out and naked. Naruto was beyond embarrassed. What's your name? Uzumaki Naruto. Where did you come from? I came from Kurigakure. I was tired of that civil war happening there, so I left. The Shodaime and the future sannin weren't sure if they could believe him, but their faces didn't show it. So why did you come to Konoha? It is a basically new village, so I wanted a new start. They nodded. So can I leave? Yes, but do you just want to be a villager or a shinobi? We are in the middle of war, and you could just skip the academy and do the genin test tomorrow. I'll take the test tomorrow. Before my father died in the war, he trained me to become a shinobi. So can I leave? They nodded and gave Naruto a key to an apartment. Your first month of rent is free, so you will have to do missions to pay the other months. Naruto nodded and left the room. So should we trust him? I'm not sure, he could be a spy, so I will put him on my team so I can keep an eye on him. The Shodaime nodded and walked out of the room. Konoha. Naruto looked around and saw that the old Konoha looked like regular Konoha, but the buildings looked newer. He nearly killed himself when he found out that Ichirikare ramen hadn't been made yet. His apartment was near the one he had in a lot of years from the future. He went to the shops to get some clothes other than the ones the hospital gave him. He went to the local shinobi store and picked up a lot of clothes. He went to his room and unpacked his clothes and went to sleep. A knock was at the door in the morning for him to wake up. He took his shower and got dressed. He was wearing a baggy black hoodie with a fishnet shirt underneath it. Black baggy cargo pants with combat boots. He opened the door to see Sarutobi. Are you ready, Naruto? He nodded. He motioned for him to follow and he did. Alright Naruto, I need you to use a hinge to look like me. Naruto did the seals and there was a puff of smoke. There stood an almost exact replica of Sarutobi. But Naruto, now do a Kawarimi jutsu to replace yourself. Naruto was now replaced by a log. Now do make at least 3 bushins, and then you may pass. Naruto did the hand sign, and at least 20 clones filled the area. What was really shocking was that they were all cage bushins. Where did you learn to do that technique? I told you that my father taught me everything I know, right? Naruto lied. Sarutobi nodded. Well, he was jonin before he died, so he taught me a couple of really advanced jutsus. Sarutobi nodded and handed Naruto his high 8. Meet me at training ground 8 so you can meet your new teammates. Naruto nodded and left. That kid is hiding something and I'm going to find out what it is. Legendary Femme Sannin. Naruto was walking with Sarutobi to meet his new team. Apparently they didn't do the bell test, so they were going to do it to test if they would do good in missions, while more elite shinobi were in the war. He got to the training ground and saw all 3 future sannin. Tsunade, the best medic nin of all time. She made the law that all shinobi teams must have a medic nin with them. That made all of the teams last longer. She lost her brother and her lover at almost the same time, and she blamed it on the cursed necklace she wore. After her brother and lover died, she abandoned Konoha and was in hiding. Naruto and Jiraiya brought her back so she could become the Goddamn Hokage. Jiraiya the Gamma Toad, Sannin, and author of Icha Icha Paradise, the famous book to all of women and some men, is the best yaoi novel ever made. She always made excuses that when she was peeping on the men's hot spring, she was doing research. Men really didn't mind her peeping, and she did it shamelessly. It took forever when they went on their 2.5-year training trip when he turned 15 to stop her from doing research on him. And finally Orochi, the biggest traitor in Konoha history. She did forbidden jutsu on Konoha shinobi and left shortly after. Not only that, she then joined the Akatsuki and left after her failed attempt on Itachi Uchiha. Every 3 years she would find a new host and take over their body. After it was time to get another body, Sasuke Uchiha's, he used the Sharingan and made Orochi's body useless. Naruto hated the sight of her, but welcomed Tsunade and Jiraiya. Team welcome Uzumaki Naruto, he will be joining the team. Orochi seemed to not care, Jiraiya had a light blush on her face, and Tsunade seemed the only one normally happy to meet him. Naruto looked at the 3 future Sannins. Tsunade had a 7-year younger face, the jutsu that makes her look younger, her hair was in a single ponytail, and had a very flat chest compared to her older self. She had a light brown vest on with a long-sleeved white shirt underneath it, green pants and blue shinobi sandals. Jiraiya had her hair straight down that ended at the end of her back. She still had the red lines at the corner of her eyes. She had a younger face than her older self naturally. She wore a tight white shirt with a dark red jacket, grey pants and blue shinobi sandals. Orochi had a black with purple lining kimono, a purple rope to keep her kimono from falling down. Black pants underneath, and black shinobi shoes. She still had the pale skin and yellow snake-like eyes, with purple mascara, at least I think it is, around her eyes. Naruto, this is my team. There is Tsunade. Points to Tsunade. And Jiraiya. Points to Jiraiya. Orochi. Points to Orochi. Team, this is Naruto. Naruto gave a slight bow. Sarutobi-sensei, why is he here? Tsunade asked with an arched eyebrow. Well, since there were a shortage of males at the academy this year, and this is an all-female genin group, it would only seem fair to have a male here to make it seem fair to the other teams. Plus he doesn't have to go to the academy because he was trained by his father. Well then isn't unfair to have another team member, because we'll have 4 members and the others will have 3. On the contrary, it makes it harder for you to have him on the team, because it may interfere with our teamwork. Tsunade seemed to be quiet after that. Okay team, officially you really aren't genin. 2 out of 4 people seemed confused. Tsunade and Jiraiya were naturally confused. Orochi didn't care and Naruto knew this was going to happen. What? But we passed the test. Jiraiya wasn't too happy with this. True, you did, but that was just to eliminate the people who weren't ready to even try to become genins. We are going to a bell test. Naruto, think of this as your graduation test. The test is there are 2 bells attached to my belt, the first 2 who retrieve them will go on and become genins, the other 2, or if anyone who is unable to capture a bell, will be sent back to the academy, also those who do not get a bell, will be tied to a stump and be forced to watch us eat. 2 out of the 4 looked worried, Orochi looked pissed, and Naruto looked like he didn't care. Okay. Ready, set, begin. All 4 disappeared from sight. About 30 minutes later everyone had a hiding place. Tsunade in a bush, Orochi under a hollow tree, Naruto in the tallest tree that was in viewing distance of Sarutobi, and Jiraiya. The SSST. Hey. Naruto instantly turned around and saw Jiraiya staring at him. Hey, Jiraiya-san. You can call me Jiraiya-chan, Naruto-kun. Said Jiraiya while giggling. Okay Jiraiya-chan. Jiraiya had a full-blown grin on her face. So, Naruto-kun, Jiraiya started to say but was cut short when she heard a voice behind her. Don't you 2 know to be quiet while hiding? Sarutobi said after he went behind them. Oh, Oji-san, how are you? Jiraiya tried to get out of this. Sarutobi's eye twitched. Jiraiya and Naruto, you 2 should know better than to be quiet while hiding from the enemy. After he said that he poofed away and the branch fell, apparently cut in half by Sarutobi. Naruto landed on his feet, but Jiraiya landed on her head and was knocked out. Hey Jiraiya-chan, are you okay? She groaned and went to sleep. Naruto used this time to get away. Sarutobi landed in the middle of the clearing and looked around. The only one visible was Tsunade. He was looking around for Orochi until he heard. Sahasosai no Jutsu twin snake sacrifice. 2 snakes appeared out of Orochi's sleeves, and they shot at Sarutobi. Sarutobi took out a kunai and cut the heads off the snakes. Orochi then appeared behind Sarutobi and stabbed him with a kunai. He turned into mud and appeared behind Orochi and kicked her into the forest. Sarutobi turned around and saw that Jiraiya and Tsunade were gone. So where did they go? Meanwhile, Tsunade was dragging Jiraiya away from the clearing to try and wake her up. While walking she saw Naruto sleeping behind a tree. To wake him up she punched him on the head. He instinctively grabbed his head and woke up. Ow. Bachan, that hurt. Tsunade got a very visible twitch and vein on her forehead. Did you just call me grandma? Naruto looked up to see the younger Tsunade staring at him with dead eyes. Oh sorry Tsunade-san. He said while scratching the back of his head. Tsunade then punched Naruto on the side of the head. Why did you do that? You just called me old, it is only natural that I hit you. Fine, so what do you want me for? You're supposed to try and get a bell from Sarutobi-sensei, so why are you asleep? Well, I was really tired from last night, I couldn't go to sleep, I was hungry. Whatever, but I decided that we can't be Sarutobi-sensei alone, so we may have to work as a team. Naruto was going to wait for the lunch test to pass, but there was no way out of it now. Okay, but we have to wake up Jiraiya first. Tsunade once again punched her teammate to wake her up. She shot up like a bat out of hell. What the hell, flat chest? Tsunade again had a twitch on her face, but let it slid because she didn't want to cause Jiraiya head trauma. At least not yet. Listen Jiraiya-chan, we are going to work together to try and take the bells from Sarutobi-sensei. Okay, come on Naruto-kun, let's leave flat chest. Hold on Jiraiya, no baka, all three of us and maybe Irachi, if she wants to, are going to work together to take the bells from Sarutobi-sensei. Why should I help any of you except Naruto-kun? Because Jiraiya-chan, just two of us may not be able to beat Sarutobi-sensei. Jiraiya just humphed in agreement. We should find Irachi to see if she will help us. Naruto got a hateful look in his eyes, but wasn't noticed by Tsunade or Jiraiya. After walking for about 10 minutes they mined Irachi just getting up after the kick. Damn asshole. She mumbled to herself. She looked up to see her teammates. What do you want? She again mumbled. Irachi, we need your help to defeat Sarutobi-sensei. Why, I can do it myself. Hey Irachi, we really need you so we can pass. Said Jiraiya. You three are a bunch of Bakemono's idiots talking about a group of people, not just one. If we somehow get both bells, then two of us will still be behind. I am willing to stay behind so one of you may pass. Naruto said because he knew the true meaning of the test. Irachi stared at him for a while and looked away. Tsunade had arched an eyebrow at him, and Jiraiya had another blush on her face. Wow, nice and cute. Thought Jiraiya. I too will stay back because I don't want Naruto to be left out. Said Jiraiya. Now I know what Sasuke must have felt like. Jiraiya is just as bad as Sakura and Ino. Thought Naruto. Fine, as long as I pass I'll help, I guess. The four went to find Sarutobi. They found him near the Ki-Stone sitting down. Naruto ran and did the ram seal. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Do more. Naruto's poof into existence and ran toward Sarutobi. The Kage Bushin no Jutsu, where did he learn that? Thought Sarutobi. Wow, Naruto-kun is even more amazing than I thought. Thought Jiraiya. Where did you learn that? Thought Tsunade. Thought Irachi. The Naruto's charges at Sarutobi and attacked from all sides of Sarutobi. He took out two of them, and Irachi charged at him next. She got out several kunes and shurikens and threw them at him. He ducked out of the way. Jiraiya then went to his right side. She aimed an axe kick to his head, but he blocked it with his left hand. Tsunade then charged chakra into her fist and aimed it at Sarutobi's head. He blocked it with his right hand, but was still pushed back a little because of the force. Irachi snuck behind Sarutobi and took a bell. Sarutobi was so distracted that Tsunade got in a kick to the side of his head. He was out cold because he got hit in the right temple. She then took the other bell. When she did, Sarutobi poofed out of existence. Their jaws hit the floor and eyes deadpanned. The real Sarutobi walked up from behind them. Good job team, you all worked together to take the bells. You figured out you can't beat a Jonin alone, so you all worked together, even if it was a Kage Bushin. So sensei, did we pass? Asked Naruto. He nodded and handed them the lunch. Naruto, Tsunade, and Jiraiya ate theirs, but Irachi handed hers back to Sarutobi. Sarutobi-sensei, I am not hungry. Sarutobi looked at her and told her to be at Raining Ground 7 at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. She nodded and left to wherever she goes. The rest of Team Sarutobi ate their lunch and went home. The SST, Area 1 is clear, target is 20 meter north, over. Area 2 is clear, 15 meters west, over. Area 3 is clear, target is 13 meters east, over. Area 4 is clear and the target is in sight, 12 meters north, over. Alright team, move out. Naruto rushed forward and threw some kunai at the target, and the target jumped out of the way. Then Tsunade jumped out of the bushes and startled the target. The target was cornered to a tree when a bunch of shurikens with string tied to them wrapped themselves around the tree and pinning the target there. Irachi was still holding the strings while Jiraiya went to pick up the target. As soon as she touched it, Arachi let go of the strings and the target jumped at Jiraiya and started scratching and clawing at her face while she wailed and screamed trying to get it off of her. Tsunade signed and put the radio to her mouth. "Sarutobi-sensei, we got the cat, can we go now?" Naruto grabbed the cat by its scruff so it would stop attacking Jiraiya. Jiraiya got up with red scratch marks across all over her face, glaring at Arachi. "Why did you let go? I wasn't ready yet." Arachi just smirked and shrugged her shoulders. Tsunade had to hold back Jiraiya for trying to kill Arachi. Just then Sarutobi arrived. Now no need for my own team to kill each other, now let's go back and finish this mission." When they got to the Hokage tower they gave the cat back to her owner. When she got it she started squeezing the life out of it while it was trying desperately to escape. After they left, they went up to the Shodaime Hokage. Sarutobi handed him the mission report. "Good, seems like you completed the mission quite easy without any problems. Alright, what's the next mission you want? Walk the Inuzuka's dogs, pull some weeds, or..." "Hokage-sama, my dear little Tora ran away again." Just then Jiraiya spoke up. "No, Hokage-sama, what kind of missions are these? They are nothing more than chores that we could have done before we graduated from the academy. Can you give us a higher ranked mission?" Tsunade hit Jiraiya in the head and scolded her about respect for the Hokage. Arachi then stepped forward. "Even though this may be the only time I agree with Jiraiya, I think we should at least get a C-ranked mission." The Shodaime looked at her quizzically and then looked at Sarutobi. He just shrugged. "Well, if Arachi thinks we're ready then I guess they can handle one." He nodded and pulled out a folder and handed it to Sarutobi. "It is an escort mission to Kumagakure, go meet at the gate in about 2 hours and you'll meet your client." They all bowed and headed out of the tower. "Alright team, this is your first real mission, so pack for about a week or two journey." Dismissed. They all left towards their homes. With Naruto. "Man, talk about a bad case of deja vu. Well, I better get ready for my mission." As he started packing for the trip, he heard a branch from the tree outside suddenly snap and a loud umph too. He peered his head outside of his window to see Jiraiya on the ground, rubbing her bottom in pain. "Jiraiya-chan, were you stalking me?" Jiraiya quickly got off the ground and waved her hands in a defensive way. "No, I wasn't, why would you think that? The fact that you were on a tree outside of my apartment right next to the window." He could see Jiraiya starting to sweat. "No, Naruto-kun, I was doing some research." Naruto looked at her skeptically. "I'm pretty sure that there isn't any difference between them, so if you don't mind I got to get ready and so do you." And with that Naruto shut his window and Jiraiya decided to go home to get herself packed too. After about an hour of packing he had 30 minutes left, so he decided to go to Ichirikara Ramen which just recently opened up. There he met a much younger Tucci and was his favorite customer almost instantly, since in the 30 minutes he was there he ate 20 bowls of ramen. He paid the bill and went to the gate where he saw Arachi, Sarutobi, and Tsunade. "Hey Naruto, do you know where Jiraiya is? She hasn't gotten here yet," shouted Tsunade as he ran towards them. "I saw her while I was getting ready, but besides that, no." "HMPH, sure she is usually late when we have meetings, but she whined about this mission, so I expected her on time today." Just then Jiraiya came running up holding her head with her left arm. "Sorry I'm late, when I came rushing here I tripped and fell on a rock, but don't worry I'm okay though," she said as she scratched the back of her head. Then the client stepped forward. He was wearing a brown tank top with a pair of green shorts. He had messy brown hair and looked around the age of 35 with an annoyed expression on his face. "Team, this is your client Haraku who is going to Kumagakure to deliver this package to one of his customers that ordered from there." They all nodded and left to leave the village. "So what's in the package?" asked Tsunade. "It is nothing that concerns you." "Well, you didn't have to be so rude about it." After that there was an awkward silence as they continued to walk. About 5 hours after walking they broke the Fire Country border and were walking in Kumagakure. As they were walking they came to an open area near a lake and decided to take a short break. Arachi was somewhere in the woods, Naruto was laying on a tree branch, and Tsunade and Jiraiya were sitting underneath the tree. As they were resting, a figure wearing a pink hood with only the bottom part of her face exposed approached them and stopped at Sarutobi. "Hello, Sarutobi-san." He looked at her with a blank face and asked. "Hello, and who are you?" She lowered down her hood and exposed her face and looked at Sarutobi. "I'm Chika Takahashi." "Chika Takahashi? I never heard of you before." She gave a slight bow and looked back up. "I am a jonin of Kumagakure and is here to escort Haraku to his customer since he wants to keep it private. And by how I know you, you are listed in the bingo book as an S-rank nin, so it would be very unprofessional of me not to know at least some of the S-rank nin." Sarutobi nodded in response. "Alright team, let's get ready to move to the customer's location, so get ready in a few minutes." Within a few minutes everyone was ready to head farther to the location. They all followed Chika through the village of Kumagakure, while Team Saratobi were getting stared at by the villagers because of their high 8s.sb. After walking about 3 miles away from the village they came across a huge lake with a small cabin on the other side of it. That is the customer's cabin over there. Do you have the item? Chika asked as she looked over to Hiraku. Of course I do, you think I'd be that stupid to not bring it, I'd be killed. Saratobi raised an eyebrow at this. Hiraku-san, I think now would be a good time to tell us what's in the package. Hiraku started to look uneasy. Well, it is a very rare blade that I found during my travels, and that is all you really need to know about it. They got up to the cabin and knocked on the door, and it slid open so they could only see a small crack in the cabin. Are you Hiraku? Hiraku nodded and showed him the sword wrapped in cloth. The man then opened the door fully so they could see him. He looked around 50 years old with a slight goatee, wearing a black jacket and black pants. He handed the blade to the old man, and as if on cue, at least 5 jonin jumped out from the trees that were surrounding the cabin. One of the jonin went behind Saratobi with his katana drawn, aiming at Saratobi's back, went after him. Saratobi grabbed the blade before it hit him, which cut his hand open, and lifted the jonin up and kicked him in the stomach, then in the side, so he flew into a tree and hit his back on the trunk, breaking his spinal cord in half. Saratobi turned and faced Chika. What is the meaning of this? Chika just chuckled. Come on Saratobi-san, isn't it obvious? As we speak, at least 100 of our finest shinobis are launching a surprise attack on Konoha. We were given a better offer from Iwagakure. Just by you picking up this mission was just luck for us. Now we can kill one of Konoha's best jonin. She motioned the old man with the sword that as soon as she got it she unwrapped the cloth and stabbed the old man. He clutched his stomach and died. Chika then turned around and the sword had a bright green glow to it. This is the Kusanagi, a legendary sword that infects everyone who gets hit by it with a very fast-acting poison that can kill nearly instantly. She rushed at Saratobi and made a strike with the Kusanagi to his left. He ducked under it and did a left hook into her jaw. She quickly recovered and kicked him in the side that made him skidded across the ground. Saratobi rolled out of the way as Chika thrusted the Kusanagi downward at him. He did an upward kick to her jaw, making her stumble back in surprise. A Kumo-nin went to the side of Saratobi with his kunai drawn, aiming it at Saratobi. It hit him, only revealing a poof with a log in place of him. He grabbed onto the nin and jumped in the air, switching his position so he looked like he was sitting with the nin between his legs as he performed a spinning pile driver, killing him instantly. He looked at his team as they were trying to hold off the other Kumo-nin. He did the proper seals and shouted. Heiten Karyuiden no Jutsu. Fire style fire dragon flame blast. A shot of fire came out of Saratobi's mouth in the shape of a dragon and struck a nin that was ready to hit Jiraiya with a katana and burned him to a crisp. Then Saratobi felt a great force form the back of his head, then fell down as he could feel his consciousness slipping away. Dika used Dotendoryuiden no Jutsu earth style earth dragon missile. And hit him in the back of the head. She stood over him with the Kusanagi aimed at his chest. She thrust it down, a barrage of kunai and shuriken hit it and deflected it. Chika looked up to see Naruto standing there with an angry look in his eyes. Why, you little gaki, prepare to die. She rushed at him but had to sidestep out of the way as Tsunade threw some kunai at her. But Irachi was running through a part of the woods with Jiraiya on her back, running from the last remaining jonin besides Chika. The jonin punched Jiraiya with a chakra-enhanced fist and hit her where she fell on the rock, and it knocked her out cold. Now Irachi, with the kind heart she has, decided to carry Jiraiya while running from the jonin. The jonin was catching up to them and was moving very quickly. She decided that the only chance they would have is to set a trap for the jonin. She rook out string for the trap and tied some kunai and explosive tags to it. When the jonin came, he set the trap as a bunch of kunai flew at him. He lifted up his arm guard to deflect them. After the kunai, a few explosive tags came out of nowhere and exploded. The jonin was quick enough to cover his face, but he was temporarily stunned and deaf. Senai Jashu. 2 snakes shot out of Irachi's sleeves and bit the man in the shin, making him fall to the ground in pain, and the other one bit his neck and crunched down on his windpipe, effectively killing him. She got up and went over to Jiraiya and checked on her. She slapped her and kicked her, but she wouldn't wake up. She decided to leave her on the tree branch till she got back. She got back to the clearing to see a giant purple gas cloud covering the field. A while ago with Naruto and Tsunade. So you think that some wannabe ninja can take on a jonin with years of experience? Naruto and Tsunade just glared at her. You should just give up and run away, and maybe I'll let you live, if you're lucky, of course. They did not move. Well, you are really either stupid or just brave, but either way, it will be the death of you. She did a couple of hand signs and shouted Doku Gasu. Poison gas, a cloud of purple gas came out of her mouth and surrounded the field. Naruto told Tsunade to not breathe it in as he did some hand signs. Ninpu Fusagen. Dust whined, the gas in the field disappeared, and Naruto came out coughing because he inhaled some of the poison cloud. As he stumbled to get away, Chika came right up to him and stabbed him with the kusanagi through his stomach, and he fell into the lake as he could feel consciousness slipping away from him. Tsunade gasped and was too shocked to do anything, and Arachi just stared wide-eyed at the lake. Chika turned around to Tsunade and Jiraiya with a smirk on her face. See what happens when genin try to play ninja, they get killed. But Naruto. He felt himself in pain as blood started to color the water red. He was starting to feel the poison take effect as he could barely keep his eyes open. He could feel darkness wrap around him and pull him down. He lost consciousness. Naruto woke up feeling wet and in front of a huge cage where he saw big red eyes and teeth looking at him. Well, it seems no matter where we are you are still weak. Kyubi, I thought that you weren't sealed in me anymore, what are you doing here? Kyubi just frowned. Apparently all it did when we went back was weaken the seal slightly. Looks like we still are stuck together, not that I like it. And it might be good for you because without me you would have been dead by now. Kyubi grinned and Naruto's vision started to get blurry. But Chika. She started to walk towards Tsunade with an evil grin on her face when she felt a huge chakra spike coming from the lake. She looked at it and an orange-reddish glow came charging up the lake, and in the blink of an eye, Naruto with blood-red eyes in a red chakra glow appeared in front of Chika and backhanded her as she hit the ground hard. She looked up and saw the chakra take the shape in a huge fox that outlined Naruto. He just grinned very devilishly at her and kicked her in the face that lifted her in the air. While in the air, he grabbed the back of her head and slammed it into the ground making a small crater. He kicked her in the side that made her skid into a tree. She slowly got up and saw Naruto with his hand extended, an blue swirl of chakra formed in his hand in the shape of a ball. Rasengan. He rushed at her and slammed it into her stomach, making her spiral into all the trees, and eventually was dead when she stopped. Naruto's red chakra was gone, but when he looked at Tsunade, he saw a great deal of fear in her eyes, and she was trembling. Arachi on the other hand had a glint in her eye and was smiling at him in a weird way. Tsunade. She was still scared but was listening to every word he was saying. I'm sorry you had to see that, but it only happens when I am nearly dead or dying. I would really appreciate it if you two didn't tell anyone, especially not Sarutobi-sensei or Hokage-sama. If you promise me that you won't, I will explain it to you later, but first we have to get Sarutobi and Jiraiya to wake up. She slowly nodded and went to Sarutobi, while Arachi went to get Jiraiya back. Sarutobi woke up within a while about 10 minutes, and Jiraiya was still out cold. After explaining what happened, of course excluding the part about the Kyubi possessing Naruto, he decided that they should carry Jiraiya along, since she still hasn't woke up yet. Sarutobi-sensei, are we going back to Konoha? Yes. We have to help push back the invading forces. They started going to Konoha while they didn't notice Arachi had the kusanagi hidden in her sleeve. Sarutobi along with his 4 students were rushing towards Konoha, but they still had a ways to go yet. With Jiraiya on his back still knocked out. He instructed his 3 remaining students to channel chakra into their feet so they would move twice as fast. Even though they were making impressive timing, Sarutobi couldn't stop thinking about the worse. Sarutobi-sensei, when we get to the village, what are we gonna do? Asked Naruto. Well, I will try to hold the enemy back, but you 4 will help the villagers get to safety. What will we do if we encounter an enemy? Do whatever it takes to get the citizens away from harm. They nodded in response. Sarutobi felt Jiraiya starting to wake up on his back. He stopped and let her off as she stumbled to her feet. What's going on here? Well, explain on the way, we're going back to Konoha. They nodded and continued to follow their sensei. As they were still moving, Naruto and Tsunade told Jiraiya everything that happened. When they got within the fire country, they could see a huge cloud of smoke about 5 miles from where they were, in the direction of Konoha. Come on, move faster. Shouted Sarutobi as they sped up. Within 30 minutes of running as fast as they could, they were all out of breath but could see the Konoha gate. The gate was set on fire and they could see 2 lumps on the ground. They went to check on them and found them dead. They were the gate guards. Alright team, split into 2 teams, Naruto and Tsunade, and Jiraiya and Arachi. Where are you gonna go, sensei? Asked Jiraiya. I'm gonna go to the Hokage tower to check on the Hokage. Alright, let's go. They split into their teams. But Arachi and Jiraiya. They were traveling from the rooftops to see if they could find anyone. Just then they heard a cry. They looked over to see an academy student around the age of 8 with numerous kunai and shuriken in him as he was bleeding severely from numerous wounds. He looked like he was gonna die. Then Jiraiya, without thinking, jumped in front of the small boy. She looked over at 2 jonins who had a smirk on their faces. One of them just merely got his hand on his katana and ran towards her ready to kill her. Arachi jumped from the roofs and drew her kusanagi and stabbed the man through his chest, effectively killing him. Jiraiya looked shocked at Arachi. That was the sword Chika had in Kumagakure. Yes, and if you tell anyone about it, I will kill you. Jiraiya just shuddered and nodded. The other Kumo Jonin charged at Jiraiya and Orochi. They split up, jumping on the roof, the opposite from each other. The Jonin went after Orochi, who ran away from him on the roof. While they were jumping from rooftop to rooftop, Jiraiya followed on the opposite side. The Jonin threw a couple of shuriken at Orochi and did the hand signs. Cage shuriken no jutsu. The few shuriken turned into about 20 and all flew at Orochi. Jiraiya threw some of her shuriken at the cloned ones and deflected them. Some of the shuriken struck Orochi in the left arm, making it go limp. Orochi snarled in pain, but then, with her right arm took out a kunai with an explosive tag wrapped around it and threw ahead of her. When they passed it, it exploded, making the roof of the building collapsed. As the Jonin fell, Orochi took her long tongue and wrapped it around the man's neck, breaking it, and let his body go limp. She drooped him to the ground, and her and Jiraiya went to go back to the child they saw before. But Sarutobi was running in a secluded part of Konoha that was hidden. He was rushing towards the Hokage tower, which looked like it was attacked. There were numerous holes in the tower, and it was set on fire. He rushed towards it and busted through the decaying door. He saw bodies lying everywhere, some of them were burning. He ran up the stairs which were ready to collapse. He got up to the Hokage's office and saw that the secretary was dead. He got worried and went through the Hokage's giant door, to only find it destroyed with blood splattered everywhere. He hears a groan from behind the Hokage's desk to find the Shodaime. He had some mortal wounds and was suffering from blood loss and chakra depletion. Ugh. Sarutobi-kun, there you are, ugh. He was clearly in pain and dying. Hokage-sama, what happened? They came out of nowhere, we took out most of them, and most retreated. I want to name my Nai-san as the next Hokage. Don't say that you're going to survive. Sarutobi tried to put on his best smile. Sarutobi, I'm dying, I can feel it, I'm sorry for failing this village. And with that, he closed his eyes, only to be never opened again. Sarutobi could feel his tears rolling down his eyes. But Naruto and Tsunade were looking through the whole village, they found nobody on the streets, except for corpses. It seemed that the whole village had been evacuated, there wasn't anyone around. Then, all of a sudden, Naruto's seal started to burn, and he felt an immense pain where it was. He knelt down clutching his stomach in pain, threatening to throw up. Tsunade knelt down to see if he was alright. She felt a shadow behind her, and Naruto looked up. There he saw an old man with long black hair staring at him. Tsunade got up and bowed. Hello, Uchiha-sama. After he heard that, he passed out. Naruto was opening up his eyes to a white ceiling and bright lights. He realized it was the hospital and he got up. He looked and saw Jiraiya next to him sitting in TH's chair next to him. She saw him and immediately grinned. Naruto-kun, you're up. Yay, what did I miss? Well, Hokage-sama died during the attack and the funeral is today, in memory of everyone. He nodded and got up. What happened to me? I don't know, you just passed out all of a sudden and we brought you here. She handed him some black formal clothes. This was if you woke up today. He nodded and got changed in the bathroom. He and Jiraiya left and on the way they saw Tsunade crying and asked her if she wanted to come with them. She nodded and they went to the ceremony. Naruto looked around and saw Sarutobi in the front row and Orochi was hiding in the shadows. During the ceremony, Sarutobi spoke, the Shodaime's brother, and other members of Konoha. After it, everyone went home and he saw Tsunade crying near a lake. Naruto went up and sat next to her and she passed him a glance and continued to stare off into nothing. I understand how you feel, a while ago I lost someone who I thought of as my grandfather. It might not be exactly the same because he was your grandfather, but it still hurt a lot. Tsunade got up and started to leave, she looked back at Naruto. I don't want to sound rude, but it would be better for me to grieve alone, so bye. Naruto nodded and just stared at the spot where she was standing. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow Cloud Cerefizi for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.